natural. Woman, I want to bet. Them not gonna feel by your leg. You can celebrate. But I tell them why you infiltrate. Woman, I want you to take on them wall and them jets. And the year, but I tell them I know all the bet. Them not gonna feel by your leg. You can celebrate. But I tell them why you infiltrate. Woman, I want you to take on them wall and them jets. And the year, but that's all I got for quantity. Good Friday. It is the day before the 9th week of Swac football gets started. And we got a lot of hard-hitting action. Somebody is going to be upset tomorrow. I got that feeling. I don't know who it is, which team it's going to be. I'm going to give my predictions. But we're going to start off by letting you know the last day to vote is November 5th in 2024. And HBCU Go did a quick little interview with the GOAT of black college quarterbacks and made it to the NFL. And let's hear what my man, Mr. Doug Williams from Grambling, has to say.
You know, how the game is involved for black quarterbacks, especially guys like Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, and now with our guy here in Washington, Jaden Daniels. I think we come a long ways, number one. You know, guys that played before me didn't really get the opportunity to showcase their talent. And I think when I got a chance to play, I got a chance to do what a lot of guys probably could have did before me, and unfortunately, they didn't get that chance. You know, the Marlon Briscoe and David Mays, all those guys played back in the day. They could have been playing today if they was coming out today, because the way the game has changed. And just this past year, to be honest with you, the NFL started the league off with 15 starting black quarterbacks. And that in itself was almost like half of the teams in the league had a black quarterback starting. And then hopefully, I said this 2 or 3 years ago, that eventually in the next 5 or 10 years, that half of the league's quarterback was going to be black. But it seemed like we're getting that before that time. And you know, with the 3 young guys that came in this year, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Penix out in Atlanta, we're getting to that point, hopefully, that talking about the black quarterback would not be needed. It just be a thing of the past and things that happen every year, every day. You know, quarterbacks, not black quarterback of a team. You know, how
that was the one and only Mr. Doug Williams. That was his interview talking about black quarterbacks. And not gonna lie, to HBCU, we have not had a good quarterback come out since the one and only great Steve A. McNair. So I understand what Doug is saying, and I appreciate everything he's doing, but we got to get some HBCU quarterbacks into the league. And I know it's tough to get. It's actually tough just to get to the NFL and actually to play. And if you don't know, Doug Williams probably had one of the worst scenarios ever, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, that team was oof. If you think this year Panthers and Saints are horrible, try playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Doug first got drafted, man. But anyway, let's get on to it. And tomorrow, like I've already told y'all, somebody getting their ass beat tomorrow. Somebody's gonna get upset. Will it be FAMU? Will it be Southern? Who knows who it's gonna be? But starting off tomorrow, you already know what I'm gonna tell you. Valley gonna win. Now you know damn well Valley ain't gonna win, but I'm gonna tell you every weekend Valley is gonna win. Bethune-Cookman is coming around. Alonzo Hampton is doing a great job. This game will be on the Swac Digital Network at 2 p.m. Also at 2 p.m. I've been hearing trap game for Jackson State. I don't see this as a trap game. I know Bethune-Cookman is mad about what happened last year in Jackson. They felt like they should have won the game. But I don't see this being a trap game. Jackson State ought to put up 50 against Bethune. Bethune has a horrible pass defense and offense. Hopefully Jackson State can get their air game going. You're not going to be able to outrun everybody. We'll see. Homecoming tomorrow in Prairie View. That's going to be on ESPN Plus. So you got 3 games come on ESPN Plus tomorrow. Fairview should win their homecoming. The Magic City Classic will be on ESPN at 2 p.m. Now, 2:30. If any one of these games that somebody want to watch, leave a comment. Like I said, I can live stream every single one of these games. But I will definitely be live streaming the Southern versus FAMU. And which Southern team will show up? If it's the Southern team that played against Jackson State, FAMU going to run all over them. Now, if it's the Southern team that played against Alcorn, which controlled the clock, rushed for over 200 yards, had long runs, had short runs, and held Alcorn passing game to 67, 76 yards, which Southern team will show up? FAMU at Bragg. I think FAMU has like the longest. They haven't lost at home in 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot riding on this game besides conference implication, because FAMU got their behind kicked in the fourth quarter last week. A sleeper game. Texas Southern at Grambling. Which Texas Southern team gonna show up? Can Grambling preseason player of the year? Can the Grambling preseason player of the year prove to me that he is worth that preseason player of the year? I'm talking about the quarterback. I have way more expectations for Grambling's quarterback, Mr. Crowley. I have way more expectations. But I will definitely be live streaming this the game between Southern and FAMU at 6 o'clock. I'll be good and full. Hope everybody else will be good and full, because it's Friday. You ought to get that paycheck. So you look a quick look at the standings. As you can see, Jackson State has a commanding 3-0 lead. Alabama State needs to win tomorrow. FAMU needs to win tomorrow. Because if Alabama State and FAMU somehow lose tomorrow, that's really going to usher Jackson State, make their remaining 4 games easier. So in the West, it's crazy because Alcorn is still not out of it. Because if FAMU beats Southern, now they will be 3-1, but Southern will hold the tiebreaker. Grambling definitely needs to win tomorrow. Texas Southern definitely needs tomorrow. So you got 2 1-2 teams playing each other. So somebody is going to be 1-3, and their chances of winning the West is diminishing. Not over, but it's going to be slower tomorrow. Pine Bluff beat up on Port Valley tomorrow. Hey, you never know. So that is right there in a nutshell is what we're looking at for tomorrow. But what we can't do is overlook any game from now on out. Because from now on out, every game that you lose and every game that you win, either you get a step closer to winning the division, or if you lose, you're taking 2 steps backwards. I'm telling you right now, if you lose tomorrow, FAMU, Alabama State, if you lose tomorrow, y'all really about to put Jackson State up on that pedestal. And I was checking it today to make sure I was correct. Since FAMU joined the Swac, they have beat everybody in the Swac that they played. I think Alcorn is the only team they haven't played yet, and they're playing them this year. But FAMU actually has a losing record against Jackson State. They only have 1 victory compared to 3 losses. So hey, you can say the joke or whatever, who's your daddy or whatever you want to say, but hey, Jackson State is whooping your behind. So, but you gotta understand that losing 1 game in the division is not bad. But when the team, if you look at the schedule that Jackson State has remaining, what is it, Bethune tomorrow, then they have like UAPB, then Valley, then Alcorn. And then you look at the schedule that FAMU and the other people have, it ain't getting easy for them. But you can't win against Valley and UAPB your first two games in conference play and then think that, hey, I won the Swac. I think a little bit of that set in with a few schools. You play against, I'm not calling the team sorry or trash, because hell, them young men got a scholarship and they playing regardless. So you're playing against teams with, I guess, let's say with less talent. And that less talent, you actually use your will and dominance to beat them. But then you play a team that's equal your talent and you look like trash. Not saying you trash, but you look trash. So I think that's a little bit of that's going on. So you can't be, in my opinion, hooping and hollering about a team being horrible when the team beats you. I've seen a lot of that this week on the internet. I've seen a lot of people trying to diminish Southern's victory over Alcorn. I don't know how. You lost all three phases of the game. Offense, defense, turnovers, special teams. You just lost everything. So I don't get that. But people got a lot to say for no reason. Alabama A&M and Alabama State for the Magic City Classic. Alabama State has the best defense, but can that defense hold for 4 quarters? I think they on their third or fourth quarterback for Alabama State, due to injuries. I know Coach Maynard is playing for his job, and they've been playing great football for the last 6 quarters. But this is a rivalry game. The Magic City Classic, I think it's going to be about 65, 67,000 go to Legion Field. And that's another thing. If you've never been to Legion, to see that classic, it's great. I know I had a blast the times that I've been there. I'm not big of classics on each other's field. I mean, neutral sites, I should say. Even the Bayou Classic. And hell, I'm from Orleans Parish. I'd rather see you play on campus. The Bethune for homecoming. I have no idea why you scheduled Jackson State for homecoming. But hey, do what you got to do to get the folks up in there. But have not downloaded the HBCU Go app? It's a free app, and you get to watch everything on there. Not just football, basketball, baseball. I think women and men's basketball. But tomorrow, this is starting at so that's 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, the kickoff show, and they go around on campus, and you can if you down in Daytona, check. I mean, it's great. It's kind of like college game day, but I don't think it's being done right, or they somehow the schools, because last week they was at Grambling and it just wasn't the turnout that I was expecting. So you got to rely on schools like Jackson State when they go there, because Jackson State, to me, along with Southern, has like the best 2 tailgating spots. Southern can tailgate just as well as Jackson State can. So, but you need to check this out. But download this app, and at 10:30, you get on there. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up on there, because I know it's on my computer screen. HBCU. Yes, the HBCU Go app. I'll show you and just stop right here. Man. And I can show you that the what you can watch on here. It's free. That's why I don't understand how people don't have HBCU Go. and see you download that, and then you go to and it has the different games and all that other stuff on there. Yeah, with the grill and stuff. That's a repeat of one of the games. That's not a live game. So yeah, download that, and you can watch just about it has more than Swac on there. It has CIAA, MEAC, and everybody else, Division II schools and all that other good stuff. But yeah, you download that HBCU Go app, man, and it has the schedules and everything else on there. Here it is, the schedule. Yeah, like I said, it's a free app. Now, like I said, I only watch Swac Sports, but they have them all on there, man. This every Saturday you can actually watch those games, and I think we on what's it, October 26th? Yeah. Yeah, see, you have one game on the grill and one game on HBCU Go. Like Johnson C. Smith, that's Division II. But then at 2:00, you have Jackson State versus Bethune-Cookman. So every week they have like a SWAC game. Then they have either a MEAC or Division II game on here, which is pretty cool, man. So, and it's all, like I said, it's all free, man. See, I have them all. I have them all this stuff on here. All right, now let's get back to the what's the name, to the SWAC games. Because I really believe people thinking that since Alabama State does not have a quarterback, they think Alabama A&M is going to be able to run over. I don't see it on that defense. That defense is stingy, very, very, very stingy. And if we look at the stats, and see what I was saying, if you look at Alabama State, they only giving up 18 points a game. And the way to beat FAMU, if I was Southern, I would look at the game between Alabama State and FAMU. Yes, FAMU won that game, but Alabama State actually held them. It was like it was a touchdown like on special teams that gave them the actual victory. But when you got a defense like this, Alabama State going against Alabama A&M. Now, Alabama A&M, don't get me wrong, they are averaging 31 points as of, like I said, in the last 6 quarters. But that game is going to be actually a lot closer than people think. But my sleeper game tomorrow is Grambling State versus Texas Southern. And I think this is going to be Grambling's, man, I want to say Grambling going to win because the game is on the road in Texas. And Texas Southern people don't really like to show up in that nice stadium. But then again, you never know. Tomorrow, the weather should be like 80s. So I got that feeling it's about time for Grambling to come out that funk. Because they've been playing, ever since they beat Jackson State, they've been playing shaky. And that's another thing. There's not I haven't seen one school in the SWAC have put on a dominant performance And if I'm wrong, you can correct me. Name me one school in the SWAC that has put on a dominant performance back to back. You can't say Jackson State. They have too many turnovers. One game they have 4 turnovers, and the next game they have 5. Then they'll in between those games they'll beat the heck out of somebody and for a half. So you can't say them. You could have said Alcorn because they was riding a 3-game winning streak, and then you see what happened to them. They got beat by Southern pretty good. So I don't see a school right now that's dominant. Now, if Jackson State put up 50 against Bethune-Cookman, would you call it dominant? Who knows? But the team that everybody should be worried about next year, looking ahead to the future, is Alonzo Hampton and UAPB. Watch that. Watch them. And so, what else is this one? And there's really rushing. This is what I wanted to show. Now, Alabama A&M can run. They have averaging 192 yards a game. You going up against Alabama State, who only gives up 95 yards. Now, this is where it gets real in the field starting tomorrow. You got the number 1 rushing offense going against the number 1 rushing defense. Defense wins championship. If you giving up less than 100 yards rushing, and you rushing for over 200, something got to give tomorrow. That game is on ESPNU, so I will have good highlights come Monday, which is great. Then because after that, well, Alcorn, they on a bye week. They was at 200. They dropped down 8 yards after that dismal performance against Southern. Then Jackson State is moving up. Alabama State, they actually averaging 190 yards rushing. Well, that's due to them not having a real good quarterback. But if you look at these numbers, as we start to get down to hey, I want to win my division. Running the ball and controlling the clock is going to come into play. As of now, the weather's not getting any cooler as of now. So for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be playing in the 80s, and some of them will be playing in the 90s if you're playing in Texas. So hydration is going to be key. Running that ball, lineman on lineman, 300 pound on 300 pound, somebody going to get tired in them trenches. So you got to look at these rushing defenses and rushing offenses. So now what I'm disappointed in the SWAC as a whole is passing. Extremely disappointed. Now Alabama A&M has a great so far, averaging 85 yards passing. But tomorrow game that I'll be live streaming, Southern versus FAMU. Look at Southern's defense passing, best in the SWAC, only giving up 122 yards. FAMU, that quarterback, he averages 243 yards and 3 touchdowns in SWAC play. He put up 3 against Alabama State. Put up 3 against Jackson State. So hey, that's gonna be another thing to watch. See, FAMU is number 3 in passing with 239 yards. So you got the number 1 pass defense going up against the number 3 pass offense. So like I said, these games are getting closer and tighter for a lot of people to in the next 4 weeks or so. See, Bethune-Cookman is last in. Damn, you worse than Valley? Damn. Yeah, so Bethune-Cookman is last in pass defense. Jackson State's number 5. Hopefully Jackson State can start passing the ball. Jackson State, you're gonna have to start passing that rock, man. If you don't start passing the ball, you're gonna become one-dimensional, and then guess what happens? people gonna start putting 8 in the box, and then your quarterback gets a little nervous. So you got to be able to do more than just run the ball, which is nothing wrong with running the ball. So, but you got to be able to pass. Now, Southern, I hope their quarterback is okay, because FAMU has a top 5. They're giving up 186 yards, and Southern is what's that top? Yeah, top 5 in passing. They averaging 217. So we'll see. That Southern and FAMU game, folks, don't be slipping on that game, man. I'm serious. If you slipping on that Southern FAMU game tomorrow, you're gonna miss out. At 6 o'clock, we'll be live streaming. Like I said, over here, you don't have to do no donations. You don't, just leave your comments and be respectful to each other. I don't really care what you say to each other. Just be respectful. And another thing, it came across my desk that people are actually DMing players and threatening players. Man, come on, we better than that now. These are young student athletes, student first, athlete second. Man, them young men and have a lot more to worry about than crazy people on the internet, man. Don't do that, man. I'll call a player out, but I ain't gonna sit there and demean him and dehumanize him. Don't do that to these young men. These young men got a lot going on, man, as it is, man. And also the Legacy Bowl is coming up. I know the HBCU Hall of Fame class is also coming up. Also, some of these people are getting put up in there. And I showed that thing of Doug Williams earlier. I showed that and Doug Williams and Eddie Robinson, coach of Grambling, they made it to the cut of 35, and then they was taken off the list. But I don't see how Doug Williams is not, or Coach Robinson is not in the NFL Hall of Fame. But hopefully they can try next year. But what they keep saying about Doug is his overall stats. I'm like, man, please, man won a Super Bowl, man, and he had a horrible team with Tampa. So keep that in mind when you see Doug Williams or you see something about Coach Eddie Robinson from Grambling about them not being in the Hall of Fame. It was like the list went from 35 to 25, and they was taken off that list, but they're getting closer. All right, Pine Bluff versus Valley. How can I put it? Valley, when you beat somebody, I'm going to be happy. But you ain't beating Pine Bluff tomorrow. Pine Bluff versus Jackson State. You heard it here first. Pine Bluff is going to give Jackson State fits. I'm not saying they're going to beat Jackson State. They're going to give them fits, because guess what? Pine Bluff can score with the best of them. You better ask Alcorn. You better ask Grambling. Pine Bluff is not scared. It's just that they're not there just yet. They're getting there. But Pine Bluff has Coach Hampton, and he has a program that he basically had to come in, and just like Coach T.C. Taylor had to do at Jackson State, had to build from the ground up. That's what I like to see. Build from the ground up. Yes, use the transfer portal and all that stuff, but you building from the ground up with the majority of those players, man. So you keep going that way. Man, if you got a comment or you got something to say, if you want to join, I can where's that link at? You can click on the link and come on up and say something. It don't matter to me. That's the link. Come on up there. If you feel like your team or your coach is not up to standard, I heard the other day that Jackson State coaches are mediocre. I said, how the hell you mediocre and you undefeated in the Swac? You're leading in a couple of categories, but some folks expect the team to go undefeated. Look, not everybody's going undefeated, man. I mean, you can't. You just can't sit there and be like, every time I take the field, I'm gonna win. We expect to win, but sometimes you got to realize that you ain't that team. Just like everybody think that they band is the best. Your team ain't that best. Any given Saturday in the SWAC, because the SWAC West, I'm telling you, the SWAC West, when it's all said and done, it's gonna be about game 11, game 12 before they decide who's gonna win. So I don't get what some of these people are smoking. But hey, man, everybody feel good about their team. Because if you look after this week, the first weekend in November, this is gonna be that's Jackson State's homecoming, which I will be at the homecoming game. But that following week, that Alabama State and Alcorn State, they playing in Mobile. I think that's part of that Gulf Coast Challenge. That's gonna be after Alcorn comes off a bye and Alabama State finished playing in the Magic City Classic. So these games, man, these games are about to get real tight. You know, except like Bethune and Valley. You know, we'll get you. We coming next year. But you scroll through and them upcoming schedules, man, it ain't getting no easier. Now, what I don't like, all these games at 2:00. We need some night games. And what's that? That's November. I think that's a Thursday night game between Grambling and Alabama A&M. Thursday and Friday night game. Ain't too much of the football season left, baby. But because November 23rd. So next month by this time, you got to remember, next month by this time, somebody gonna be getting ready to play for the SWAC championship game. So you only got about a good month left of good football. So if you losing or you taking an unnecessary L, you might just be out of the whole thing. You're gonna be joining me and Valley on the couch. Because I guarantee it, Valley ain't going to no SWAC championship game. So, or they can join me in Atlanta when I go to Atlanta to the Celebration Bowl. The Texas Southern Alcorn game, November 9th. Don't sleep on Texas Southern at Alcorn. Texas Southern has beat Alcorn twice in a row. So you might want to be careful. I mean, these are the upcoming games. See, Bethune-Cookman comes down to Southern will run all over there. Prairie View. Where out Prairie View? Can anybody tell me what happened to Prairie View? They ain't been right since Texas Southern beat them in the Labor Day Classic, in my opinion. Just my opinion. And so they had some pretty good games, but they ain't been clicking on all cylinders, man, since then. Now, there's another stat that I wanted to look at. And it had to do with scoring. Oh, here it is, a scoring stat. Now, through 7 games, Jackson State has 31 touchdowns. The next school closest to them is Alabama State and Grambling State with 25. Does that mean Jackson State has the best offense? It turned the ball over too much for me. But They can't put it up on you. I'm FAMU, which is crazy to me. The strike fast offense, they're down there at number 9. They have 13 touchdowns. Is that the FAMU that we seen from last year? No, it's not. Do you expect a school to be dominant back-to-back years with the transfer portal and coaches carousel? I understand that stuff, man, but FAMU fans are not happy. It's like, how can we lose to it? Man, come on, man. Jackson State kicked your ass a couple of times. So it is what it is, man. But the defense is what wins your championships. If you giving up, let's go Southern, giving up 24 points, but you only averaging 21 points. Now that's your division leader in the West, giving up 24, averaging 21. Think about that. So that's why I tell you the West is wide open. Can I see FAMU blowing Southern out tomorrow? It won't be through running. I can tell you that right now. That rushing, you go back to rushing. FAMU only averages 88 yards rushing. 88 yards rushing. They down there with Valley. Valley averages 69 yards. So when your your offense is only, your run game is that strong, that's sad, but you pass a lot. I got that. But you're going against a team, one of the best in the defense. That's why I say this game tomorrow at 6 o'clock, tune in. You will be able to see what I'm talking about. Some got to break and shake tomorrow. So, and goes back to A&M. Alabama State has the number 1 rushing defense. Alabama A&M has the number 1 offensive rushing. So tomorrow we're gonna be jam-packed and full of good games tomorrow, man. I hope y'all out tailgating. I hope y'all out being safe, because I will be at my house. I will be throwing them back, and I will be lit. Starting tomorrow, my grill goes hot tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I got some chicken, I got some ribs, I got some green beans, some potato, and some other stuff. I think that's some dirty rice or something she done put up in there. But yeah, it's going down tomorrow though. I mean, we ain't got too much longer left in there. Monday I'll be going over not only the highlights for football, but Swac basketball schedules have came out also. I mean, Swac, how can I put it? With the funding that we have, they got to play a lot of these teams, and you call them money games or whatever, but I don't like money games, but I understand why they got to play them. But some of these schools don't have a home game until after Christmas. So what are we doing? So but I really believe that we have to support not only football, but basketball, baseball, softball, whatever sport that we're playing, we gotta support these people, man. Because once I show you the basketball schedule, you're gonna be like, damn, do anybody ever play at home? So that's how I was looking. But that's all I had tonight. I didn't keep y'all long enough. I know the rally, VP Harris rally is on. The Yankees, you can't tell. That's a Derek Jeter baseball. Yankee blue, baby. But that's all I have for y'all on this Friday night. Thank y'all for tuning in. And make sure you catch me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Oh, and let me pull up my people. The show, Let It Be Known. Telling y'all, check these folks out, man. Good folks. And we definitely will see y'all. Okay, yeah. Make sure y'all check these folks out, man. They was gracious enough to let me come on their show a couple of times. It's called Let It Be Known. They're on YouTube too. Like, share, and subscribe to them. That's Let It Be Known Black Press USA. That's black news that you can use. They got everything on there, man. It just ain't. It ain't just sports. You got everything from female healthcare, mental health, politics, all kind of good stuff on there. So definitely check out Let It Be Known every Monday through Friday at 6:30. You got people like me be on there. You have from Chuck D be on there. You have a who's who on there. So check them folks out, man. But that's all I have for tonight, man. Thank y'all for joining. I will definitely see y'all tomorrow. And like I said, if you want to see, if you can't get HBCU Go or any of those other places, other than other games, let me know, man. And I will definitely stream the games for you.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Y'all have a good night.